Hello again, everybody. I'm Ben Perrin. I'm the Director of Disaster Response for the Central State Synod. I've enjoyed over the last few weeks getting a chance to talk a little bit about disaster and disaster work, and have a chance to talk with some other folks about the work that we're doing within the Central State Synod, within Lutheran disaster response across the country. And hopefully you've had a chance to watch those videos and learn a little bit more about what we do. The hope with that was that we could spark some interest in getting people involved in disaster work. And so the Central State Synod is a big place with a lot of territory to cover, and it's a lot of work for one person. So I'm the only staff member that is specifically tasked to help with disasters when they happen, to help with the preparedness before disasters, help with the recovery after the disasters. And so part of a way of making the disaster work more sustainable, more inviting and inclusive to our congregations, more reachable and attainable, is to bring that work to the congregations and bring opportunities for folks to get connected. And so one of the ways that we're looking at getting folks connected is through conference disaster teams. So each of our conferences will have a group of folks that are interested in participating in disaster, and hopefully that are looking for a way to connect with their community, a way to connect to help people within Missouri and Kansas, or even outside of our conference borders or our synod's borders. And so, Missouri and Kansas both are very susceptible to disasters of many kinds. We went over that a couple videos ago with talking about especially our, high susceptibility to flooding and tornadoes and severe storms and winter weather and all kinds of things. And when those events happen, it leaves a lot of people in need and looking for a place to get help. And that's a great way for us, whether that's our local body of churches, to make an impact within their community after a disaster happens, or the Synod as a whole, having an outward focus, looking at how do we help those that need help? How do we pass on blessings to folks that are really in a tough spot? And so, as we look, the needs that exist from the Eastern Missouri conference all the way to the Western Kansas conference, they're very different. And so what I'm hoping to accomplish with these initial meetings is to get a group of folks to talk, to see what are the needs within each of the conferences. What would people be interested in doing? People have asked me, what does it look like to get involved? And so in another earlier video, we talked about the 4 stages of disaster with preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation. And so there's lots of different places to connect within the disaster work. And so it's just finding what people are interested in connecting with. Often Lutheran disaster response has been known throughout the country for our work that we do within the recovery realm of the disaster and helping meet people's needs after a disaster happens. That can look like helping to bring financial resources when a disaster happens, and getting that into the hands of people that have been impacted. It can also look like getting a team of folks to help go work on a house that's having some work being done on it. But there's also opportunities for folks to get involved in local meetings, in local planning, and get your congregation involved within that, with what's going on with your local emergency management efforts. And so with these conversations, I'd like to explore some of that with folks within the different conferences. And so we're looking at the first meeting for the Western Kansas Conference is going to happen March 18th at 4 p.m. And then we will go the following week on March 22nd at 4 p.m. For the Eastern Missouri Conference, March 23rd at 4 p.m. for the Osage Conference, March 24th at 4 p.m. for the Central Kansas Conference, and March 25th at 4 p.m. for the Border Conference. And so if you have any questions about what conference your church is in, or what these meetings might entail, please reach out to me. My email address will be linked below, and would love to have a chance to talk with you some more. I do ask that you consider this, that it is a really worthwhile use of your time to get involved in the disaster work that we're doing. And we definitely have the need and have enough disaster stuff going on to begin to build a team of folks that might be interested in participating with me in the work that we're doing. So I look forward to talking with each of you and hope you have a great day. Thanks so much.